G'day, my name's Dave. Before I get into this update, I just wanted to say a really quick thank you for all the encouragement and questions on my other videos. It's been really great to just chat about zettelkastening, so please keep your questions coming. I've updated my zettelkasten a fair bit. I've been really helped online by a few people, Scott Shepper and others, that have thought deeply about zettelkastens, and I've worked on my process. And so I wanted to update you, but please keep the questions coming. I'd love to keep chatting about these things and refining my process. So let's have a look at what my zettelkasten looks like now. Okay, here we are. Here's my zettelkasten now. I've got a delightfully analog cardboard box. One day I'd love kind of fancy library drawers or something like that, but can't afford them at the moment. And so if I pull out these two drawers, we can see where things are up to now. So my main box, in my other videos you would have seen that these dividers were coloured. Now I use these manila things. The labels there aren't strictly part of the zettelkasten per se, but they're topics or names of books, things like that, to help me to find information quickly in order to link, or if somebody asks me about a particular thing, I can just quickly go to it and see what I've written. For me, I just start at number 1, card 1. This started during COVID, so this is a lecture about COVID, and all the way back here I'm now up to 348.1, which is a linking card there. You notice a couple of different things about how I do it. If I look for where I've started logic, reading this 960 page book on logic, and so I knew I'd read other things before I'd finish it. So what I've done is I've got a main card 305 as the start of this book, and then I've subordinated every other note. So 305.1, 305.2, then I've got a reflection on that, 305.2.1, in order to keep all the notes for this massive book together, whereas at other times they're just separated and linked or labelled. I just wanted to keep it together. I've also been reading a book about Benedictine rules of life, and so I'm developing a rule for myself. I've subordinated some of these cards. So I have 334 as a collection of ideas, 334.1 subordinates there, and then as I get a random brainstorm, just an idea I want to think about later on to include, I've got that at 335, and then I've subordinated all the brainstorms. So you can see if I just flick randomly, I've got 335.4, and then up the back of this section I have a card 336, which will be my actual rule of life when I get around to writing it, just so that they're all together in the zettelkasten. I wouldn't mind necessarily separating them out into different things. Like I have a couple of different places where I've read about leadership, for example, but for these ones I wanted to keep them together, so that's the way I've done it. The new thing that I've added in is index. I never had an index to start with. I just relied on these labelling cards, but as my zettelkasten grew, I thought it'd be great to have a keyword index. So I've done a few different things with that. I'm just going to move around the side. Can't fit. So I've got green cards for when I've directly referred to Bible verses. For me, I'm a pastor, and so a lot of my reading is theological and biblical, so I've got the Bible there. On pink cards, I've got people, so this is Sonky Aaron's How to Read Smart Notes. There's a guy called Duncan Andrews about Bowen systems theory. I've got the author, the book, and then what card refers to that book in my index. Then it's just a placeholder card to tell me what I've got in A. I've moved all my outline cards into the index. There's a video about outline cards. And then also an example in other places, I've added in keywords. So this one is about the Canaanite god Baal. I've got some stuff about him. Where's another keyword? There'll be... here we go, keyword about preaching. Oh, that's a main card for P. Just keep a record of that. Here we go. Here's an example. I've got keyword of productivity, and I just reference an entire book there, but there might be individual cards about productivity. We've got an example, heaps of authors in that one. Got an example right about willpower. So I've got something on Lectio Divina and Routines and Rituals, 2 different books, 2 different cards, just a keyword on willpower. Then I also put what people like Scott Shepper call a bib box, just a collection of my notes. Started to keep them on cards there. I was using 200 GSM card for notes from books like in the main box, but I've recently changed to 100 GSM paper, just what writes better with my fountain pen, fits better. And then I've got a bunch of spare notes and spare cards all in the back there. These are books that I've read but haven't Zetteled yet, so I just mark them there. So there you go, there's my update of my Zettelkasten. And I'll put it all away for next time.